Okay, I just got a call, service call to a friend's garage, and he has this 04 Cavalier here. Suspected bad fuel pump. It was towed from another garage. Yeah, they wanted an outrageous amount of money to put a fuel pump in it, so he had it towed to his house. As you know, my garage is packed right now, so I told him I'd make a service call up here and throw a fuel pump in it for him. So yeah, they wanted something like, I think he said around $800 to put a fuel pump in this. So it's a 2-hour job. See, I got it jacked up. I don't have it sitting on the jack stands yet, but it's pretty close. There's a fuel tank. I'm going to start by removing the 2 straps. I put a jack underneath it. You're going to want to siphon the gas out if you can. If not, just be really careful. As you can see, the straps hinge back here. If we come around this side, if you look up here, you see you got your plugs for your sending unit and your fuel pump, and then you got your filling neck and a couple of evaporation hoses. You're going to want to disconnect them, put a jack underneath it, and you come under here and you see the straps. You got your nuts. There's 2 straps on it. Got one on the left, one on the right. Then we'll lower the tank. Just want to take a minute and jump over here to a wiring schematic to show you some of my basic troubleshooting, since I wasn't able to cover it for you during the repair. In this case, we had a fuel pump that I wasn't getting no fuel pressure. So a great place to start is at the fuse. Make sure your fuse is good. It's a 15 amp fuse. In this car, it was located behind the lower left side of the dash in the fuse block. And I had a good fuse. I had 12 volts leaving. So then, therefore, you'll come down and you'll see that there's a junction here. However, I'm not worried about this T. I just want to make sure I got my 12 volts going down to my fuel pump relay. In this case, the relay was located on the left front of the engine compartment. And I had 12 volts to this pink wire, B17. So I knew everything in this circuit was complete, giving me voltage to this pin. And if you come down here, you'll see your control voltage for this fuel pump relay comes from your PCM, your power control module, from your fuel pump control circuit. Therefore, once the relay gets this 12 volt signal, as long as you have a good ground, it'll pull in this relay, which would pull this contact down and complete the circuit. Therefore, I went back to the underneath the car near the fuel pump at that plug that I was just showing you guys. Unplugged it, located the gray wire, terminal B, and found I had my 12 volts positive when I cycled the key. Therefore, as long as I had a good ground, that fuel pump should have been running. However, that wasn't the case. The fuel pump never turned on, never ran. Checked the ground, I had a good ground, and I had my 12 volts. Therefore, nothing else stood between here and that fuel pump. Well, that's not the case. On this particular model, and a lot of GMs around this year, they had a lot of problems on the sending unit itself, where the wire harness plugged into the top of the sending unit. They had a lot of problems with corrosion and contact problems on the plug that plugged into the sending unit. Therefore, I lowered the tank a little bit, checked that plug, and verified that that wasn't the case on this particular car. And everything in that circuit was complete, and that fuel pump should have been running. Therefore, I came to the same conclusion as the previous mechanic and determined the fuel pump was bad. Hopefully that helps. If you'd like to see me spend more time on schematics and going over stuff with you in a more educational manner, feel free to leave some suggestions. See this green clip for the fuel line going to the fuel filter. You just take that little green tab and you pop it out, and then you push it up, and then you can pull the line off. I'll show you on the next line. I don't know if you can see that blue clip on that return line. See how it has that bottom tab, where that little tab sticks out here? We'll take and push that over, pop that down and then you could slide the clip up and out. And you also got your filler neck hose. That's just a simple hose clamp. Take that off and let me see if I can give you a closer shot. I'll pop that clip down and I'll give you a shot of it. Now that I have that blue clip undone, you can take and push it up and out. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, I don't know if you can see up there, but how it opened and pushed up. Once you got all the lines and the plug undone, put the jack underneath it and jack it up. Okay, at this point there's these two rivets that hold that heat shield up in place. There's one that goes through the gas tank strap. In addition, there's another one that goes into the body. You're going to want to take and drill them out. After drilling them two rivets out, that'll allow you to lower that heat shield down enough, bend it out of the way to lower these two gas tank straps. There's a shot of the strap on the right. Next will be a shot of the strap on the left. Prior to removing those two retaining bolts, you're going to take and place a jack underneath the gas tank with a flat piece of board or something in that manner to evenly distribute the weight of the gas tank prior to lowering it. Once those two retaining bolts are lowered, you can take and lower the tank out on a bit of an angle. Here's a shot of the top of the tank after it's removed, and the three lines. There's a pressure line, a return line, and then your evaporation line. The center line, your evaporation line, just clips off. And then you got your retaining ring. You're going to want to take and knock that out counterclockwise with a hammer and a screwdriver or chisel. Once it comes up, you got to be careful because it does spring up and could sling fuel. After you get that removed, take and clean any debris out from around where the sending unit goes down, and take special caution into not knocking any debris down inside the tank, and then reinstall your new O-ring. Then here's a shot of the new sending unit. Once you get that down in place and started, take and tap that retaining ring clockwise to lock it into position. Go all the way until the bottom's out. Then reinstall your evaporation tube. Your new sending unit comes with a new and improved style connection. This is, as I said prior, they had common problems with those wire connections that they used. As you take notice, that black wire on the left is your ground, and the third wire in is the gray wire. Those are the two wires that I use to test the fuel pump on the opposing end. Whenever I install a new connection or make a repair to a wire, I always solder and heat shrink. You're going to want to be away from the fuel tank with an open flame. Good to go. And there it is with the new wire harness installed, okay, with the new plug. Put it back in. Got her back in. Wasn't too bad of a job. About an hour and a half. 2 hours. See, all the plugs are back in. Straps are back up. Heat shield's back up. The strap's tight. Everything pretty much is a 1/2-inch socket. You gotta drop the hangers too. There's one hanger here. I found it easier just take that one bolt out and drop it down instead of trying to fight with the rubber. And this one had another hanger back here. This one looks like it might be aftermarket, but I just dropped that hanger and the exhaust dropped enough. And I just bent that heat shield out and around. Got it all put back up in place now. Fuel lines, you can see the new fuel pump came with a different style clips. Those ones just push on like the old style. Same thing with up in there, you can't really see it too good. Those clips there are a little easier to deal with, especially going on. Got the evaporation hose back on. Like I said, the plug's in, hose is on. We're good to go. But you're going to always want to check the fuel gauge. Oh yeah, baby. We're going to cycle the key a couple times, get fuel pressure up. Yeah. There it is. We're good to go.